Episode 55, KL October 27, 2023. New Hampshire Legislature lacks votes to override governor's wood-burning plant veto. RAWSEP View. Neither side in this New Hampshire debate discussed the health effects of breathing wood smoke, but the outcome of ending subsidies for a New Hampshire power plant is good for the environment and for slowing climate change, and good for the health of New Hampshire residents. The arguments on both sides were economic arguments, in favor of jobs, continuing for the timber industry for those in favor of continued subsidies for wood burning, and arguments against continued massive taxpayer subsidies for those against continued wood burning. Continued taxpayer subsidies for New Hampshire's Burgess Biomass plant had bipartisan support in the New Hampshire Legislature, but Thursday's vote on Sununu's veto of the bill fell short of the two-thirds majority needed for override, 194 for the wood burning to 159 against the wood burning. Two-thirds of 359 is 236, so the vote needed to be 236 for the wood burning to 123 against the wood burning, and the vote fell short by 42 votes. The wood burners' argument for energy diversity is absurd. A different energy source that is highly polluting is not a solution to slow to climate change. Wood burning emits more CO2 and PM2.5 than the fossil fuel coal burning, and emits 450 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. PM2.5 is particulates of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Wood smoke is 90% PM2.5. Wood burning hastens climate change faster than coal burning, and hastens climate change 450 times faster than natural gas burning. The price of the truly clean energy sources wind and solar is plummeting in 2023. The New Hampshire area is reeling from the loss of paper mills, so was apparently looking for another use for wood. That biomass is less financially efficient than other energy sources is an understatement. Biomass plants cannot exist without being propped up by massive taxpayer subsidies, because biomass is not financially efficient. Wood for furniture and home building are ways to use wood in ways that are non-polluting. Excerpt from the article below. Sununu felt the state had been too hospitable to the private sector business for too long, and that it should stop keeping Burgess BioPower afloat. In his August veto message, he said the plant has been enormously expensive for New Hampshire ratepayers, and cited more than $200 million in subsidies since 2014, a number that others have since contested, including Berlin's mayor. All of these overmarket costs are paid by approximately 530,000 Eversource customers, forcing those families and businesses to bear additional unnecessary financial burden on top of already historically high electric bills, Sununu wrote. And from the article in favor of sustaining Sununu's veto, Representative Michael Harrington, a Republican from Strafford, referenced a never-ending series of bailout bills for the Burgess Biomass plant. He argued the plant is not an efficient way to make electricity, and passing HB 142 does nothing but delay the inevitable. Harrington said Burgess accounts for 0.2% of capacity on New England's power grid. After the House sustained his veto, Sununu thanked lawmakers for siding with New Hampshire ratepayers today and voting against the continuation of subsidies for a company that has failed time and time again to find a stable financial model. New Hampshire, NH Legislature votes to sustain Republican New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu's veto of New Hampshire wood-burning power plant. What to watch for on veto day. New Hampshire Bulletin. House Bill 142 would provide a crucial financial extension to a 10-year-old wood-burning facility in Berlin, Burgess BioPower. In 2011, the NH lawmakers uphold Burgess BioPower plant veto. New Hampshire Bulletin. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. House Bill 142 would have helped keep the 10-year-old wood-burning facility afloat by providing a critical financial extension. It was passed by NH lawmakers uphold Burgess BioPower plant veto. October 26, 2023. Supporters of the plant say it provides needed energy diversity during difficult winter months and bolsters the timber industry in an area reeling from the decline of paper mills. Getty Images. This story was updated at 4:10 p.m. October 26 with a statement from Burgess BioPower. House lawmakers on Thursday sustained Governor Chris Sununu's veto of continued subsidies for Berlin's Burgess BioPower plant. House Bill 142 would have helped keep the 10-year-old wood-burning facility afloat by providing a critical financial extension. It was passed by lawmakers this session with bipartisan support, but Thursday's vote on Sununu's veto of the bill fell short of the two-thirds majority needed for override, 194 to 159. The facility was approved by the Public Utilities Commission in 2011 to sell power to the company now known as Eversource. But the PUC imposed a condition: the facility could not exceed $100 million in total overmarket costs, meaning that it could not charge Eversource more than $100 million over the cost to buy the same amount of energy from traditional sources. If it did, Burgess would be required to pay back any amounts it charged in excess of the $100 million total. Burgess BioPower began exceeding the $100 million limit in 2017, and since then, lawmakers have been passing legislation to exempt it from paying back the excess. Supporters of the plant say it provides needed energy diversity during difficult winter months and bolsters the timber industry in an area reeling from the decline of paper mills, even though the energy production is less financially efficient than traditional energy sources. Signing HB 142, he claimed, would allow Burgess BioPower to continue collecting millions in ratepayer subsidies every month, without a plan for long-term solvency. Reacting to Thursday's vote by lawmakers, Burgess BioPower spokesperson Sarah Boone released a statement saying the company is deeply disappointed, and that failure to override the governor's veto will create serious financial events for the forest products industry, the city of Berlin, and Burgess. Despite today's vote, we continue to believe the legislature got it right with HB 142, which developed a new model for Burgess's continued operation, Boone said. HB 142 was a result of more than 2 years of collaborative, bipartisan work between legislative leaders and the NH Department of Energy. Boone said the company is evaluating the veto's impacts and considering its next steps. During Thursday's House session, Berlin Democrat Representative Henry Noel warned lawmakers that sustaining Sununu's veto would cause the plant to close and hundreds of people to lose jobs. He questioned the framing of Sununu's veto message, pointing to a Department of Energy audit completed last year that confirmed no money beyond what is allowed in the power purchase agreement has been paid to Burgess by ratepayers. The governor is asking us to blame an award-winning, state-of-the-art power plant who came to us for help and which both the House and Senate agreed that such help was appropriate, indeed, necessary, Noel said. Representative Corinne Cascade, a Berlin Democrat, said Burgess BioPower has contributed $700 million to New Hampshire's economy. We made the right decision this winter when we overwhelmingly passed House Bill 142, she said. China, Xinhua Laos seeks ways to tackle air pollution, Xinhua PM2.5 levels greatly exceeding safe levels, adversely affecting people's health and reducing visibility in some places. The dust was caused by India, Mumbai. Absence of marshals, monitoring and penalties, what has led to inaction in addressing Deccan Herald as the BMC turned a blind eye. Pollution levels in the city has surged with Mumbai recording a 45% increase in PM2.5 particles in October. India, Mumbai. BMC's failures on pollution, alarm bells in Mumbai. The Indian Express, the incineration releases fine particles in the air, making it toxic. This month, Mumbai has recorded a 45% increase in PM2.5 components. India Chandigarh records moderate AQI spike reported in pollutants after Dussehra celebrations. The Indian Express data released on Tuesday also showed that the maximum PM10 content recorded by the city stood at 183 and maximum PM2.5 level recorded was at India, Delhi. Delhi air quality slightly improves to moderate. Punjab News Express in Pusa, the AQI recorded PM2.5 at 128 moderate category. At Lodhi Road, the AQI with PM2.5 concentration was at 149 under the moderate. India, Delhi. Delhi's air quality remains poor with AQI at 256. The Shillong Times PM2.5 at 169 and PM10 concentration at 156. According to SAFAR's forecast, the air quality in the city is expected to further deteriorate, with PM India, Delhi. Delhi reveals winter action plan to combat rising pollution, weather.com particulate matter emissions. The deteriorating air quality has been a cause for concern, with PM2.5 and PM10 concentrations remaining high. New research ties industrial pollution in Japa to higher rates of asthma, respiratory issues. D Magazine, the doctor sought to tie what's known as particulate matter 2.5 to health outcomes. PM2.5, as it's abbreviated, are microscopic pollutants. India, Pune. Pune lacks short-term mitigation plan to tackle air pollution. Hindustan Times the PM10 concentration was 106 micrograms per cubic meter, and PM2.5 level recorded as 67 micrograms per cubic meter. Many citizens, health experts, and India, Delhi. Smog tower at Connaught Place ineffective, DPCC suggests shut down. Delhi News. The Indian Express. Its report said that the smog tower's capacity to reduce the concentration of PM2.5 and PM10 was 12% and 13% above a distance of 100 meters. PM2.5 and fetal growth affected by oxidative stress. Effect of particulate matter 2.5 on fetal growth in male and preterm infants through oxidative stress. MDPI particulate matter 2.5, PM2.5 levels are associated with adverse pregnancy outcomes. In this retrospective cohort study, we examined whether the